Well, I'm happy to share this testimonial. My name is Charlene Thomas, and I tried Earcoustics. And once I learned how to properly place them on my head, which was a little tricky, uh, I actually noted that the sound quality in my home was a lot better. I could hear the TV more clearly. I can hear my own voice more clearly. And because I do wear hearing aids, I can hear other voices, particularly voices that have a higher pitch. It's much clearer. I think it's a great value, $20. I understand it comes in different colors, and it's definitely a product that I think I would use, particularly in my home.
Okay. One question that I did have is how did you like the quality of the product in itself?
In terms of the enhanced hearing environment,
Yeah.
so you can still hear background noise, but it actually tends to be softer, more gentle, and more discernible. So it doesn't interfere with whatever you're hearing, particularly if you're wearing hearing aids or even if you have a Bluetooth. As you have disruptive noises coming through, they're less alarming. So everything seems to be fairly well modulated. And the hearing quality, like for instance, during this discussion, not only can I hear my voice clearly, I can hear the interviewer's voice clearly and accurately, and that's a big plus.
How do you think? Would you suggest this to? Would you suggest this product to other friends who may also have hearing loss?
Oh, absolutely. And also the people who don't have a hearing loss. I will say that hearing loss is something that's very gradual. So this instrument actually helps you to recognize, I think, earlier than you might ordinarily. Be aware that there is maybe a gradual hearing loss creeping in because once you hear what it should sound like and then you take them off and then you hear with your normal capability, you can see a difference. So I think definitely if you wear hearing aids or if you don't wear hearing aids, that it's just important to hear, and it also helps your cognitive abilities too. So I think if you hear more clearly, you think more clearly, and it also helps your environment in terms of safety because you need to hear everything clearly.
Especially, that's really important. Especially when it's, for instance, if you needed to drive with them on, you can definitely hear what's going
Absolutely.
on around you. So, for instance, one of our other even though our target audience is people who may or may not be struggling with hearing loss, among the Asian community, do you think this could help children who may be in a classroom and in a really busy environment who want to focus on a teacher? How do you feel about that?
Absolutely. I think in a classroom environment, and most classroom environments in today's world are very noisy, there's a lot going on. It can be very disruptive to the learning process and difficult for the teachers. So this definitely would calm that situation down, particularly for students who may have ADHD or may be on the spectrum. This is something that would sort of promote a more calming environment, and I always say what's good for one child is good for all children because all children benefit from learning in a very calm, controlled environment. And this does tend to, as soon as you put them on, it tends to introduce a feeling of calm. And it tends to slow things down a little bit because you can hear things more clearly. So you listen and you absorb more. So definitely an aid for the classroom.
That's wonderful. And do you have any more comments about how in comparison to the traditional hearing aid and how sometimes that can be a hassle to get for people who may or may not have insurance? Do you think it could be a good alternative as the hearing loss is gradually moving forward?
That's a great question, and I think because hearing aids are very expensive, even with insurance, and I think it's a wonderful place to start, and it would help. I think in the best sense, it helps people to recognize that they do need to have some sort of enhanced hearing instrument. So this is step one, I think, and it would help an individual accept that I'm not hearing things as clearly as I should when I don't have these on. So perhaps in addition to this, adding a hearing aid if necessary, and just being more aware to have your hearing checked, because again, it's sort of this very gradual loss, and you tend to become accustomed to not hearing things as clearly as you should, and it sort of creeps up on you. You don't really recognize it. I have a lot of friends who are beginning to lose their hearing, and when you share that with them, they don't think it's true. So.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you.